This video is less about cars and more just about my personal weight loss journey. I hope someone can learn something from this. If you could stay till the end to listen to it. Um, I used to be around 220 pounds and 5'9" roughly. My life genuinely sucked. Dating was an absolute nightmare. Making friends was a nightmare because, well, no one wanted to be seen around a fat guy. So, eventually I looked in the mirror and I really wanted to make a change. I didn't make a change at first, but gradually over time, it just really started to hurt, to be honest. And, that's, I'd say, a month later after I realized I need to make a change, I actually started committing to the change, right? I started eating less. I wasn't necessarily on a crazy diet. I wasn't like eat chicken and rice and all this bullshit you see online. It was just a regular diet, right? And I was still eating like 2,500 calories a day. I mean, plenty, right? But I was just eating less, so I was losing weight. In over a progress of time, I really did start to notice difference. It wasn't really obvious at first, but, as I took pictures of myself, about weekly, I did notice difference. It was casual different changes, but like my face got a little slimmer, my arms got a little more defined, my lower stomach, I could start to see the top of my abs, right? just little things. So I'd say over the progress of a year, once I started changing, I lost about 40 to 60 pounds. I was about 185, I used to be 220. I mean, what also helped with me is I did, gain some height, but I mean, that wasn't a drastic thing in my weight loss, but it did help. But regardless of that, I'd say I was, 185. I was happy with the way I looked, but I wasn't fully satisfied, right? So I spent another year really building myself where I started working out. I really started to watch my diet. I didn't drink pop. Like, still don't drink pop. I really don't even like pop anymore. I'd say things that really helped me was like Propel, like flavored water, stuff like that. 0 calories, good electrolytes. And, it doesn't cost you, your diet. So it's helpful, in my opinion. But, as of right now, where I stand, I am 160 pounds. I'm 6'1", and I still have, I'm not jacked, but I have a decent amount of muscle mass, right? So, it did take time and it did take a lot of progress, but, I promise, if you genuinely want to lose weight, I promise it is very possible, and it is not as hard as people, love to make it as. Literally, it is just as simple as just cutting basic stuff out of your life, eating less, you don't got to just completely clean your diet to perfect, but, just eat a little less, you know what I mean? Just gradual changes over time, because I promise you will make so much more progress if you gradually do things and make it feel less like a chore and make it feel less like something you just want to do. You know what I mean? Because once it's engraved in your mind, I'm on this, I'm doing this, there's no exceptions, I'm not letting myself go out of control, then you really start to become more motivated. That would happen to me, right? I did not want to do it at first, but after a couple months, it really became very motivating to want to do it. So, I'm not sure how many people are actually going to watch this video and listen to what I say, but for the few people that do actually watch through this entire thing, just know I personally believe in you, because I know it is possible. Don't listen to what other people say. They're not the one working through the struggle, you know what I mean? You're the only one that can want this, you know what I mean? Ignore what anyone else says. No one can want, self-progression more than you want it. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make this like a motivational thing. I'm just making this a reality thing, right? It is possible. It does suck. But once you've met the goal you want, oh my gosh, it is very satisfying. You know what I mean? You really become more self-confident, you feel better about yourself. Your social life is better. I mean, every aspect of your life is better. You have more energy. I mean, everything is so much better. So I really hope someone listened to this whole thing. If you did, if you could drop a comment telling me if this was helpful information or not, I would appreciate it. But you know what? Just know, I don't know you, but I do believe in you. So, I mean, you got to start from day one, right? No excuses.